So having more people like, I want to leverage this tool, how can I do it? Create these hackathon sessions, and then ideas come off the back of that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, it is. For the churn, you actually use Jiminny in two different ways to prevent or minimize churn. Um, One time we were like sitting and we just felt that we have pretty high churn rate, and we started thinking about, okay, what we gonna do? Once again, I didn't even expect that Jiminny would help us with that because I was like, well, it's like working with the customers. It's not about even sales. So how
Yeah.
come Jiminny can help with that? But we've done two things. The first, and I feel, yeah, I'll start with the other one. So we started working on the infrastructure in HubSpot, building like reports, metrics, checking trends, and blah blah blah, which is nice.
Hmm.
But then it all comes to the point where you need to work with each sales rep to see how they qualify prospects and why those prospects, when they become customers, why they churn early. Because any company has churn, that's fine.
Hmm.
You cannot live without that. You just want to minimize that because um, the the longer the customer stay with us, it means lower customer acquisition cost. It means more loyal customers that bring us referrals. We increase revenue, and then at the end of the day, again, the happiness among the sales team, developers, customers, everyone involved is just higher. So yeah, we started those quarterly meetings, and if before that we were talking about coaching, is when Olga works with each sales rep individually, then the hackathons, we borrowed that word from developers world.
Hmm.
Um, we sit all together, not only the sales team, but also the SDR person, the sales managers, and the customer success team. So it's also a place for us to have like some sort of team building, formal team building, not with
Hmm.
wine, no,
It's
but
not as
still
good
we
then,
sit
is it?
together. It does. And super important for us was to create the atmosphere when you watch the sales discovery calls recording,
Hmm.
but you don't have to blame anyone because sales reps, they already struggle every day because every day with each prospect they have to decide, would that prospect be like a good customer and you will be able
Mm.
to upsell them, or will they churn? So you have, from one side we push the sales reps like, sell more, we need higher conversion rates, blah blah blah. From the other side we tell them, well, disqualify early. You don't have to work with the prospect that churn fast, and it's very controversial.
Hmm.
So making this atmosphere when where we value sales reps work, but also we're finding the ways for them to improve was very important. I'm happy we've succeeded there. And the last churn hackathon, we had that on 4th of May, so 3 months ago. And we watched, if I'm not mistaken, like 5 discovery calls to see the patterns. Well, was there something we could mention on the discovery call and see that this prospect was actually disqualified? Or maybe there was a sales rep who didn't work the objections, or maybe they didn't have enough or run expectations to the client. That is why they turned early. So we've done that meeting. We, the sales managers, they pre-selected the calls in advance. They reviewed the calls in advance. They made their notes, and the next day we sat together with the rest of the team members, watch those calls. Everyone could leave their comments. You
Hmm.
brainstorm again. It's nice team building activity. And then it took us, I guess, 3 hours of work, which is incredible because, uh, within just 3 hours, you can go through 5 different scenarios, and 10 people can can just learn a lot from 3 hours. If not a hackathon, we would have to do this one by one with each sales rep, which would take us, I don't know, months probably.
Hmm.
At the end, we're just, after each Jiminny hackathon, we have the Notion page with our learnings, what we should do, what we should not. And we have this internal knowledge base, which is nice because let's go back to onboarding. New person comes, they just go to Notion and they already know the best practices or what not to do.
Yeah.
I was preparing for this call. I was thinking about how to measure all of this. I have some notes, and they seem incredible. There's one thing to remember is that
Hmm.
Lemon.io customers, they pay us week by week. So, and they churn like week by week, month by month. Um,
Okay. So, okay, that's, yeah, I didn't know that. It's
comparing,
like,
I wanted to compare sales we had before the hackathon and the sales we had after the hackathon. But again, it's not very proper comparison. I understand that, but it's very, very
hmm,
close, accurate. Even if it's not like there's some a couple of percent inaccuracy, listen to the number and you'll understand the mess. So before the hackathon in April, we had 18 sales. Out
hmm.
of 18 sales, 12 were churned early or churned at
Wow.
all. 66% churn rate.
Wow.
Let's go 1 month before that, March, just to make sure it's not like
An
sporadic
anomaly.
situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, March, we had 63 sales. 21 of them have already churned, which is again 63. If I
Mm.
done my math correctly, it's 63% deals have already churned. Now I went to May, which seems to be a very productive month. We had 41 sales. First, it's more than average.
Hmm.
And out of 41 sales, deals, 10 have churned, which
Wow.
makes like
Okay.
5% churn.
That's a really
So
big
before
difference.
that, we had like 66% churn. Now it's 25. Again, some of those customers will churn. It's not very accurate to compare March to
Of
May,
course.
but still like 66% or 25 is a very big difference.
Yeah, it's a massive difference. I wasn't expecting those numbers, to be honest. I didn't we didn't prep them before the call, but I think this is what's so good is that people don't talk about churn as much, and the fact that we've been able to play some part in just like creating ideas, and kind of bringing everyone together within Lemon to be like, right, we need to look at this, we need to look at what are the indicators all the way at the start of the process. I don't think many companies do that generally. I don't think many, if any, companies look at the initial qualification within like SDR roles, for example, and try and look at a trend there, which will indicate if they're going to churn right at the end. People just look at why they churned when they're already a customer, and I think that's so
Mm-hmm.
interesting. It's definitely very forward thinking, and the fact that it's worked so well is such a big positive. And I think we're super happy that like we could be some part of that because that makes such a big difference. It's such a faff trying to bring in new
You know,
customers all the time. You have to keep them. You have to protect them when you get them. Because yeah, it's expensive to get
for
new
sure.
ones.
If someone watches this, I know many people are watching this call, not only reading the article itself, but at the very beginning, it might seem to be weird just to show your call, which is sort of unsuccessful, right? Because you churned early and you have to present that call and your work to the rest of the team and basically two teams. It might seem to be somewhat sensitive or uncomfortable, but imagine if the churn rate is so has decreased that much. It also means that you, as a sales rep, you also earn more commissions because your customer stay with the company. So at the end of the day, the sales reps are also very happy with the changes we made.